If you believe raising children requires constant praise, this content offers a surprising new perspective. Praising certainly boosts self-esteem and builds confidence. Educational settings widely embrace praise-based development. However, research shows that excessive praise or conditional compliments can actually undermine motivation. This raises an important question: why does praise sometimes kill enthusiasm? Imagine a child who loves drawing, completely absorbed and losing track of time. The moment you say, "Great job, here's a reward," something shifts internally. What started as drawing is fun becomes "I draw for praise" or "I draw for rewards." External reasons overshadow internal joy. Psychology calls this the undermining effect, confirmed through numerous experiments. Well-intentioned praise can actually rob children of spontaneity, creativity, and willingness to take challenges. Motivation divides into two types: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation means acting because the activity itself feels enjoyable or meaningful, independent of rewards or evaluations. Extrinsic motivation means acting for external rewards like praise, points, or salary increases. When a child builds with blocks absorbed in play, that's intrinsic motivation. When an adult says, "Build it well, and you'll get a snack," motivation may shift to extrinsic. Self-determination theory, proposed by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, identifies three basic needs supporting intrinsic motivation: autonomy, the feeling of choosing for yourself; competence, the sense of doing well and growing; and relatedness, feeling connected and understood. When these three needs are met, people naturally engage in activities and sustain motivation. Conversely, certain praise or reward methods can damage these needs, depleting motivation. One experiment had children draw pictures. Half were told, "Draw well and you'll get a reward." Initially, both groups engaged enthusiastically, but later, during free play, the reward group showed significantly less interest in drawing. This undermining effect demonstrates how external rewards can devalue intrinsically motivated behavior, reducing motivation. Praise can have similar impacts. Psychologist Carol Dweck studied how praise affects children's growth, mindset, and problem-solving abilities. After children solved puzzles, one group received ability praise like, "You're smart," while another received effort praise like, "You worked hard." When offered the next challenge, the ability-praised group tended to avoid difficult problems, choosing easier tasks instead. They feared that failure would undermine their smart label. Praising ability can paradoxically lead to failure avoidance rather than challenge-seeking. And Ryan's research also demonstrated how external rewards undermine intrinsic motivation. College students solved puzzles, with some groups receiving payment per puzzle solved. During subsequent free time, the paid group showed less interest in puzzles. This undermining effect occurs when external motivation for rewards overshadows inherent enjoyment. Once rewards disappear, behavior stops too. Praise can make people feel managed or controlled. When told, "You're so motivated," "Good job," children may think, "I must try hard to gain teacher approval." This appears positive but creates a pattern of acting based on others' evaluations, potentially leading to fear of failure, excessive sensitivity to expectations, and inability to work at one's own pace. This represents decreased self-determination and damaged autonomy. Excessive praise devalues the words themselves. Constant "amazing" or "you're a genius" makes children perceive these as empty formulas rather than genuine evaluation. Comparative praise like "you're better than so-and-so" creates competition, jealousy, and other dependent self-evaluation. So what constitutes effective praise that nurtures intrinsic motivation? The key lies in supporting the three basic needs of autonomy, competence, and relatedness. For autonomy, instead of commanding "do this," ask, "Which do you want to try?" Or, "What would you like to do?" Give choices. For competence, avoid abstract praise like "great," Instead, specifically describe what they accomplished your piano. Rhythm was more stable today than yesterday. Did you focus on something particular? Such feedback clarifies the connection between effort and results, strengthening the sense of competence. For relatedness, share joy together with words like, "I was watching," or "that made me happy." These phrases satisfy the need for connection. Saying, "I saw you choosing and working hard on your own," or "you were so focused today," "I enjoyed being with you," conveys that growth happens within connection, not just for evaluation. Dweck's mindset theory distinguishes fixed mindset, believing ability is innate, from growth mindset, believing ability develops through effort and practice. Praise shapes which mindset develops. "You're smart" promotes fixed mindset, while "you thought persistently" promotes growth mindset. Focusing on effort, ingenuity, and continuation supports growth. Interestingly, sometimes not praising or evaluating proves most effective for preserving intrinsic motivation, particularly when children are deeply absorbed or experimenting in their own world. Withholding external evaluation allows autonomy to flourish. Simply watching quietly or enjoying accomplishments together without judgment can effectively sustain motivation. The brain's reward system, particularly dopamine, regulates much of our motivation. Dopamine relates to pleasure and anticipation, releasing when rewards seem likely. Interestingly, dopamine responds most strongly not to results, but to expectations. Anticipating praise activates the brain's motivation switch. However, when rewards become habitual, the dopamine system habituates, gradually responding less. Constant identical praise reduces dopamine release. Rewards become expected, creating dependency where absence kills motivation. This represents reward system desensitization. Fascinatingly, during intrinsically motivated behavior like reading, absorbedly or pursuing self-chosen goals, dopamine releases even without rewards. This self-generated reward comes from satisfying intellectual curiosity, experiencing personal growth, and feeling achievement from problem solving. Internal experiences themselves reward the brain. Motivation arising internally from feelings like, "This is fun," "I want to know more," or "I want to try," creates strong, sustainable, long-term motivation. Not all rewards prove harmful. The key is discerning when rewards work effectively versus when they undermine intrinsic motivation. Rewards effectively function when introducing new habits, during boring, repetitive tasks, or when danger avoidance requires enforcement. However, rewards backfire for activities. With existing strong intrinsic motivation, tasks requiring creativity or problem-solving and interpersonal behaviors like helping or showing kindness. Ultimately, the question isn't whether to praise, but how to relate. The essential shift moves from evaluating to recognizing, from praising outcomes to acknowledging process, from commanding to offering choices, from judging results to empathizing with feelings. Growth potential exists inherently within everyone. This power weakens when controlled, but flourishes when respected. Therefore, the essence of education, parenting, and management isn't forcing growth, but drawing it out like cultivating soil, providing water, and delivering light rather than rushing seeds to sprout. If you found this perspective valuable, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thank you for watching.